Hello, thank you very much, LED Professional, for giving us the opportunity to present today for you Luminus Light for Living, the illumination product portfolio of Luminus LEDs. My name is Robert de Jonge. I'm the responsible salesperson for Luminus in Europe, Middle East, and Africa, and leading the team of the salespeople here in Europe for Luminus. Light for living, so that's LEDs for retail display, shop lighting, hospitality, hotels, spas, restaurants, residential, in houses, but also industrial and outdoor, office and education, and museums and architectural applications. So Luminus is known for specialty lighting, but those specialty lighting technologies we are able to also use for illumination or general lighting. So in special lighting, Luminus has a lot of high flux density products with excellent reliability. And those, let's say, high density products and dyes we are using in applications when required. And of course, the excellent reliability comes with that. The other one is that we have a lot of dedicated wavelengths that we have for specialty lighting, which we're also using for illumination. Think of creating a full spectrum where you just need more wavelengths than just the blue pump, royal blue. And in that matter, we are offering different wavelengths also in illumination. Another thing is where we are doing a lot of innovation is on phosphors. We're working together with the industry-leading suppliers, for instance, GE Current and Cibro. The LED dye architecture, we basically have a big range of dyes that we can use for illumination. Of course, the standard lateral dyes, vertical dyes, which are more used in special lighting, but are also used in some of our high power white products, and of course the flip chip products, that are there for high efficacy products. And what you can also see is that we have a huge range of materials and wavelengths that we are able to offer because of the backup of Sanan Optoelectronics. That's the mother company that Luminus belongs to. In March of this year, Luminus also had a booth at Light and Building. Here you see an overview of the booth, and the theme of Light and Building of Luminus was the best quality of light and high efficacy. And of course, the main application that we were showcasing there is retail display, which means basically shop lighting. So in the industry, Luminus has the largest range of LES sizes available for illumination applications. So we're ranging from 1.2 square millimeter up to 53 square millimeter, and a lot of, let's say, options or versions in between, going from 3 to 53 for the COBs. And those are our high power white products, which we are also using in some of the narrow beam applications. If you then look to this indoor lighting portfolio, focused on the quality of light, then you can see that we have different product families that are used. And of course, that depends on the kind of application. So on the right side here, you can see directional, so more spotlights or narrow beam. And here towards the left side, it's more diffuse lights, linear applications like TL retrofits or a flute light, which are typically more mid-power. So here you can see our mid-power portfolio. Some of the products used for warm, dim, or tunable white is our family here. So you can see a matrix solution, but also a phosphor dispense solution. And most of the spotlights or track lights we are using are COBs. And in some cases, for the, let's say, even narrow beam applications, think of a museum or lighting up a certain object, we're using our high power wide products with high CRI, being the 1.2 square mil and the 2 square mil products. Here at the bottom for the COBs, you see a huge diversity on different offerings that we have. So you can see some of the generations, which is more saying something about the efficacy. And here you can see from smooth white to AccuWhite, all different kind of flavors of products that we're offering for specific applications. I will come back to those kind of product families later on in the presentation when I talk about the COBs. Outdoor and industrial lighting portfolio, it's a kind of mixture. From the past, these high power whites have been used in outdoor applications, street lighting, parking lot lighting, and in some cases even stadium lights. Right now we see more and more also mid powers being used, but still for narrow beam or high intensity, these high power white products are still being used. Some cases in warehouses or in high bays, also COBs are being used, but mainly mid power and high power white is used in outdoor and industrial lighting portfolio. I will address the product families that we're offering for illumination, and I will start with the COB, the chip on board LEDs, and the different families that we have within the COB LEDs. So here you can see the COB LED product performance, where we have the Gen 3 at 126 lumens per watt, 137 lumens per watt for the Gen 4, 146 lumens per watt for the Gen 6, and 162 lumens per watt for the Lux generation, which is with a different phosphor. I'll come back to that later on in the presentation. And these values are all with the same CLM 14, 3000 Kelvin, 90 CRI, hot. So those are apples with apples, and those are not 25C, but 85C hot condition that you're seeing. So here you can see different LES sizes. Smaller, of course, it's more difficult to reach a higher efficacy. The more dyes that are inside the product, the better and easier it is to get a higher efficacy. So you can see with our CLM 22, with the Lux, we're reaching over 170 lumens per watt efficacy. An overview of the Luminus color quality offering. So you see different families here being mentioned. So there is the black body locus. This is the black line that you can see here, going from there to there. So all these black circles are products on the black body that we're offering at different color temperatures. Then you can see those circles in blue, those are below the black body. It's our Sensus white product line. Then there are some circles in green, that's our extreme Sensus. So by achieving this, although it's 3000 Kelvin, because it's below the black body, it appears white. And then you can also see here some of the meat colors where you have marble and you have red meat. So what is interesting, and that's also stated here with the red line, is that, and it's here the dotted black line, that's the human eye visual perception of pure white light. And therefore you can see that by having these blue and green circles, we are approaching that human visual perception of pure white light, which of course is depending on what you're trying to showcase in your application. We then go to the Lux COB LEDs. It's the highest efficacy with the best color quality. As already stated, these Lux series are using a narrow band red phosphor, so-called KSF. And on the right side, you see the product here with the Lux series. So that's at 3000 Kelvin 90 Curie. On the left side, you see our typical LED phosphor spectrum, nitride based, and you can see the differences. So especially here in the red area, you see these spikes with the KSF, the narrow band red phosphor. But if you look to the color quality, then there is no difference. If you see here these R values, they are relatively the same. Even the R9 here at 56, same here with KSF, also at 56. So yeah, these values are really similar, which means you're achieving a higher efficacy, but the color quality remains as good as you are used to with the standard phosphors. So how does that work, this narrowband red phosphor? Yes, it improves the efficacy. Better, let's say, efficacy at 90 and 95 minimum, because it's more in the red area. So with 80 Curie, which is more in the area here and using less of the red, you see that it's not that efficient. So specifically for 90 Curie and above, the KSF phosphor is providing a higher efficiency. So we have that from different LES sizes, a full range of products, and we're using a licensed IP for the innovative KSF phosphors from GE Current. And that's because this one, we have tested several from different suppliers, but this one we selected due to the exceptional performance and the stability, color stability that we saw with this phosphor. So are there any differences if you look to the standard phosphor and the KSF phosphor? I already expressed some of the advantages, mainly the energy efficiency and improvement of that. Accurate color rendering, yeah, that's the same. Efficient light conversion. But KSF is different. I already stated that we selected GE Current. Not all KSF phosphors are the same. Some of them have a different reliability than the one that we selected. There is also an impact with higher temperatures. So it's only going towards 105 degrees Celsius. If you go above, then you will see impact on the performance of your reliability, but also the color stability. The phosphor quality, as I stated, is really important. And even within certain, even with GE Current, there are different, let's say, KSF products that you can select. What we're also seeing is that color shifts. If your KSF is not so good quality, then you will see color shifts more happening than if you have a good quality product. And also, in terms of measuring the KSF product, it's almost like a TL fluorescent. You need to wait a little while before you do the measurement. So if you do a short pulse like you used to do with your standard phosphor, it's not yet at the full, let's say, spectrum. The excitation of the phosphor takes a little bit longer, and therefore, yeah, you need to have a longer pulse if you want to measure a certain spectrum when you do a test. Overview of the Lux COB LEDs product portfolio, ranging from 4 to 22 LES. Yeah, you can see all the different efficacies that we're achieving with these products. Also, we're offering, and these are with the 90 Curie, but we're also offering a 95 Curie minimum product. So that's quite unique. Not only 90 Curie with the KSF, but also 95 Curie with the KSF phosphor. Then also introduced in the standard phosphor is our latest generation. It's called the Gen 6. There we have industry-leading performance, really wide selection of lumen packages with drop-ins compatible to the previous generations, Gen 4 and Gen 3. Also, when we introduce Lux and Gen 6, our Gen 4 and then our Gen 3, even in some cases, Gen 1 and Gen 2 are still available. So we're not obsoleting our Gen 4 or our Gen 3. Those products, if they're being used by our customers, they will still continue as long as there is demand from these customers. Also, of course, is this very good reliability, fully qualified at 11,000 hours with LM80 testing at 105C. Overview of the Gen 6 COB-led product portfolio, where you can see indeed it runs from 4 till 32 LES. And this one, since it's standard phosphor, is available in all the different CRI versions that we're offering. Minimum 70, minimum 80, minimum 90, and minimum 95. And those high CRI products series we call AccuWide. If we then look at those different color quality product families, then we have our smooth white. The smooth white is our broad spectrum LED. That one is actually not just, if you see the spectrum here, it's not just the standard blue pump, but also we're adding at 435 nanometers an additional dye, and also here at the cyan at 485, 490 nanometer, we're also adding here another product. So here you can see the cyan. So by doing that, you see that there is really a smooth spectrum, and the black line here is the reference source, which is halogen. So you can see we're matching the halogen spectrum really, really closely, and that's why we call it, because it's very smooth match, and that's why we call it smooth white. Of course, this product is aimed at museums, where at high-end clothing shops, because this is not focused on efficacy, this is focused on color quality. You can see by those values here, the RF and the RG, those are very, very close to 100, which means they are really good and comparable to almost a halogen source. Another color quality product family is hospitality white. On the black body here, you see those black circles. Those are on the black body products with 3-step. The hospitality white are the red circles, and those are slightly below the black body, but not as far that they go outside of the ANSI bin, and therefore, what you will see here is white performance, but without any of the green tint. So this is really nice. It's not, and if you go further below the black body, then it might get a kind of pinkish tint, and also that is not available. So it's really a good light for hospitality, hotel, bars, restaurants. Then another family that's called our Robusto. Those are more used for products where you want to drive it harder. Think of narrow beam applications where you have, that's why you see here small LES sizes, 3, 4, and 6, where you can really drive it 2 times or 3 times a typical drive current, and by doing that, getting more lumens out of a small LES. And since you're doing that, normally, you would have, if you drive it harder, it will have an effect on your lifetime. But with this special Robusto line, you can see that even after 10,000 hours, we have almost no color shift. And in my whole career at Luminus, this is the best, let's say, reliability data I've ever seen. And yeah, that's really great. But it's indeed for applications where you really need this reliability. And it could also be something like in a warehouse or in an area where you don't want to replace it and want to make sure that the products are lasting at the same lumen output for a long time. Another product, which is also quite unique, is our Studio COB LEDs. We have two flavors. One is tungsten high CRI, and the other one is daylight high CRI. And those are used in TV studio and film lighting. And we have this specific TLCI measurement, which is above 95. And in some cases, I've seen even close to 99 with this product. And it's, of course, high CRI. And that's all required to have a perfect color rendering and a saturation for the camera to have a good camera shoot and movie quality. We have three different products. So our 300 watt CVM32, which at maximum 6 amps is able to deliver over 30,000 lumens. Then we have our 600 watt and our 1200 watt. Both of those are Robusto enabled, meaning you drive them at the max at 10 amp and 13 amp, and therefore because it's Robusto enabled, it has a very good reliability and a long lifetime and less degradation of the lumen output. So with the CVM45, we have over 50,000 lumens, and with the CVM53, we have over 90,000 lumens at 13 amps. And here you can see the CVM53, the 1200 watt Studio COB. An example of our Studio COB LEDs in usage. So at our Luminus booth in Lights and Building in March this year, we were using the skylight balloon, and that one had CVM32 inside. There were actually 4 of the CVM32s of each color temperature inside, and they were delivering over 70,000 lumens. And you can see this one is above our booth and was lighting up the booth in our area. But it's also used in film, as I stated. And then you can see they're using several of these skylight balloons to set up the movies here, but also outdoor it can be used. You can imagine that even if it gets dark here, you're able to create daylight and still shoot the movie while it's already dark. Switching from the standard COB LEDs to the dynamic COB LEDs. Those are our tunable white and warm dim products, and we recently have introduced generation 2. So here you see an overview of our dynamic COB LED portfolio. Generation 1 are these matrix products with the matrix LEDs, and the Gen 2 is what you see here with the phosphor dispense and the stripes. So the products here are warm dim. So our warm dim Gen 2 is not yet available, will come soon, but our tunable white Gen 2 is available. For the warm dim, we have 2 dimming curves. The halogen dimming curve and a linear dimming curve. So those are settings that you can select. So there are 2 different products. And here you can see a warm dim IC that we have. And that one is defining the dimming curve that you want to have. Tunable white, of course, is a 2-channel product. And this one is a 1-channel product that you can add to an LED dimmer, either a halogen or a triac dimmer. Then an overview of our Gen 2 for the dynamic COB LEDs, and that's our tunable white. So here you see CTM9. That one is tunable from 6,500 Kelvin to 2,700 Kelvin at 90 CRI. You see more than 50% improvement in lumen output versus our Gen 1. CTM14, same 6,500 to 2,700 at 90 CRI. Yeah, over 3,000 lumens at 6,500 Kelvin. Quite nice for all kinds of different tunable wide applications. And we have different ranges. So you see here now the 6,500 Kelvin to 2,700. We have a version from 4,000 Kelvin to 1,800 Kelvin. So yeah, there are different flavors that we're offering. Then to the mid-power LED product family. An overview of our mid-power and cube LED products. In red, you see the recently launched new products. And in green, those are popular parts, which we're selling a lot into the market in Europe. I'll come back to these products later on in the overview. We have from 2016, 3014, 3030, different versions of the 3030, 3030 flip chip, 2835, those are with KSF. So those are actually 90 CRI performance, where all the others are 80 CRI performance. So therefore, if you compare this one with that one, then you would say, hey, that's not a huge difference. But keep in mind, this is 80 CRI and this is 90 CRI. So with a 90 CRI product, I'm even better than an 80 CRI product because of the KSF phosphor that we're using. Then where are we using these kind of products? So our smallest package is the 2016, very small form factor, and therefore, of course, also perfect for low-cost applications. 3014 is more long and thin, so linears. 3030s, yeah, those are typically the workhorses, which you most of the time see linear fixtures. Flip chip, 2835, that's the commodity package and also low cost. And unique is our cube, which is wide angle emitter, and we have that one in 3 volt and in 6 volt. Then one of our new products that we recently launched is the MP3030 with KSF phosphor. So we're using our 3030 package that we already had with the standard phosphor. And we're seeing a 12% improvement in flux versus our standard phosphor 90 CRI. So what you already see is that you have a 90 CRI high quality of light with an 80 CRI efficacy, or even higher than an 80 CRI efficacy. And as you have seen already in the previous overview, this KSF phosphor is not only available for the 3030, but also for the 2835 package. We have also high CRI products in mid-power. So for our 3030 products, we have an AccuWide series, typical CRI 97, a minimum CRI 95, and you can see the R9 is above 90 in the warm white areas. We're also offering candle warm white options, so 800 Kelvin and 2200 Kelvin, ideal for hospitality and home, which of course in a restaurant delivers a very cozy and warm, intimate light. A special product family that we already have for a few years is what we call our Salute human-centric mid-power LED series, the 3030 21C2. So you see here the different products that we have. Then you see the melanopic ratio. So the closer this melanopic ratio is to 1, the more you are suppressing the melatones. So if you look to a standard product, so not a Salute product, then 6,500 Kelvin product is close to 1. This 5,000 Kelvin product, standard phosphor, is more this value. So what we have done is we have added a cyan chip inside our package. So next to a cyan chip, we have a blue chip, and therefore we're able to increase the melanopic ratio. And why do we want to increase the melanopic ratio? Well, if people are using in a classroom or in an area where you want to keep people alert, they don't like the cool white 6,500 Kelvin. So now we're offering 5,000 Kelvin, but you are still having a very high melanopic ratio, and therefore people are staying alert. You want the same with warm light, which people find very cozy, very intimate. Normally, this with standard phosphor, this is close to 0.3, 0.4. By adding this, you can also have warm light, but people are not getting sleepy, and you will still remain kind of alert. And switch to our more outdoor streetlight mid-power LEDs, MP5050 and MP7070. This product we already have for a couple of years, but recently we introduced our new E-series with an improved efficacy. So you can see here at 4,000 Kelvin, 80 CRI, that we are having an improved efficacy for these products. Then, last but not least, we are going to our SMD white LED product portfolio or high power white product portfolio. Both used for indoor and outdoor. You see here an overview of where our LEDs are being used, from museum to outdoor street lights, premium portable lighting, which is you can put it as a headlamp, but also as a bike light, transportation or work lights, where you have this off the road possibility to light up a work area, and of course industrial lighting, surgical lights, or even camera illumination. And here an overview, where of course for indoor we have our high CRI options, and for these kind of outdoor, it's more 80 CRI and 70 CRI products. So recently we launched our SST12, where we are using a round LED emitter, a patented round LED emitter. Why would we do a round emitter? Well, you see here the overview, a round emitter versus a square emitter. And you can see that by using the square emitter, both with the dome, that there's this square halo still visible. You see that with the round emitter and the dome, we're reaching further, but we're also having much more candela power. So you can see that between the square and the round, more than 30%, which they call the K factor, the candela power factor, more than 30% higher. 16% further in terms of beam distance. Smaller beam angle is possible with a round LED, because you have the round LED perfectly matches the optic. You're not losing a lot, so you're making it more collimated. So yeah, round LED really provides a lot of advantages. So we're also offering this round LED emitter in high CRI, which of course is perfectly suitable for museum lights, anywhere where narrow beam spotlights are being required. We're also offering this high CRI product in the same footprint, but then a larger die. So this is the SST20. Same narrow beam products you can use with this, but of course you have a higher lumen output versus the 1.2 square mil. Then we also have a 4 square mil and a 7 square mil product. Of course, not in a 35-35 package, but in a 50-50 package, slightly larger package. And of course, the higher the die size, the more the lumen output. So you can see that this one ranges from 200 to 700 lumens, and this one, the 7 square mil, ranges from 750 to around 1400 lumens. Another option that we're offering with this SFT70X is that you can use it at 2 different voltages, either at 6 volt or at 12 volt. And this allows you to use more common drivers. So by increasing this forward voltage, you can also have a lower current, because it's more difficult to have a 3 volt version at 4 amp driver versus 12 volt 2 amp. There are more driver solutions available in the market. Then another experience or another beam spot comparison where we are comparing the flat top versus the dome. On the right side, you see the product with the dome, the SST70X. On the left side, you see the SFT70X, the product without the dome. Both are 7 square mil products. You see that the one without the dome has 2,500 lumens, and the one with the dome has 3,000 lumens. So this one has more lumens. But if I look at the candela power, then you can see that the one on the left has a much higher candela power than the one on the right. So in that sense, and also you can see there is a much higher intensity in the middle of the beam. So yeah, candela power is really much better with the product on the left. So then we are at the end of our overview of Illumination product portfolio of Luminus. Thank you very much for your attention, and hope to see you soon in one of our shows at a booth or in person at an event where we are visiting. Thank you very much.